recording the session, and meanwhile I will share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Am I adding? Yes, right?
Yes.
Thank you guys for joining the table partitioning session within the short notice. So the main agenda of this is to understand the table partitioning, how, why, and where it will be helpful. So I'm going to show the demo on the AdventureWorks 2019. So before understanding the table partitioning, we need to understand that few words like range left, range right, that kind of stuff we need to understand. So first I'm restoring one of the database. So right click new. I'm restoring the AdventureWorks database. Why? Because we need some data, right, to understand very well. So right now I'm taking that 2000 AdventureWorks. I'm just restoring that. It was done. Okay, now okay, so I have restored AdventureWorks 2019. So can you anyone tell me what is the default file group in SQL Server? Hello?
Primary, I think so.
Yeah, it's primary. Whenever you add any data file, okay, so that data file belongs to primary group. What about the log file? So for log file, there is no file group. So how we can do add all these using T-SQL? We can do that using GUI. We can do that. Right click on the database properties. If you see here, I'm having only two files. One is AdventureWorks 2019 and this is data file. You can see that here. Rows data means log file. See, you can see that this data file belongs to primary. This is log file. Log file doesn't apply, doesn't belong to any file group. Okay, giving that. And if you again, I'm go to the database properties, click files, file groups. See here in our AdventureWorks 2019 database, I'm having only one data file, and that file belongs to primary file group. Okay, so just this is brief introduction of like about the while entering into the partitioning. Okay, so where is my PPT table partitioning? So one more thing is like some in my previous organization, and every Friday we need to give one tech session related to SQL Server, and like related to that anything which is related to the SQL Server. It's not purely SQL Server, it can be ISSI. So if you had that kind of events in your organization, then I will give this PPT for you. You can replace my name and you can show to that your team as well. Okay, so I'm so welcome to table partitioning. So first, why the agenda is first we need to understand what how many kinds of partitioning are there, how we can do the how we can create the partitioning. If the partition got created, then how we can split into that, how we can merge into the partition, how we can merge those partitions, how we can useful how it was useful for how we can use the uh, table partitioning to improve the query performance. Okay, this is what our agenda is. So before getting that why we need table partitioning, okay, let's assume that I have opened a bank account in the year of 2012. Right now what is the year 2023? So how many of you like view the data of 2011? See, for example, to be frank, I'm telling, if I join in any, if I need any credit card, usually they will ask 3 months bank statement or 3 months blank slip pay slips. Okay, so if I want to cross check my financial activity, I will take only 1 year data. Okay, so apart from that, I don't need 10 years of the data which is more than 1 year, right? Am I right or wrong? Hello.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yes, right. So I have opened yeah, at the year of 2012. At that time, I have generated 100 GB of data for that financial year. So let's assume that I'm using some paint to make understand you. So this is the like my data. Let's assume that. So 2011 data, it is having like 100 GB, 100 GB. Let's assume like that. Okay. So and this is the 2023. I'm also handling 100 GB. Sorry, here 100 GB. To be telling one thing you have to confirm me. So how fragmentation will occur by DML statements only, right? By DML statements only, the fragmentation will occur. Um, for example, OLAP databases don't have fragmentation, right? Only we need to work for the select statements only. If you select statements, there is no concept like fragmentation. Only when we do insert, update, delete, drop, that kind of stuff only the fragmentation will occur, right? So I'm having for 100 GB to 100 from 2011 to 2023, I'm having 1 TB of data only for me. Okay, so really I required that much of data in the production table. It's not required only because I'm using only 2000, only when the last 1 year of data only I'm using. Apart from that, I am not using. To be frank, one of my brother want to data from last 2 years. What he went to the bank account, there will be no option. Okay, the last option is only from current date to last 6 months only. So they went to the bank and they have written a written complaint. They manually verified. I mean, they manually taken printout after taking the 2 or 3 days time, and they have given a printout with the bank seal. Okay, bank stamp. So that's how we need to remove the unwanted unused data to another table is called archiving. Okay, so if you remove that data, we call this a purging. Okay, so what will happen if we have the same data in the same table in the same database? Let's assume that you only tell that rebuilding the index of 100 GB is take less time, or rebuilding the index of 1 TB will take time. Which one will you use will take huge time? Hello, hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Harsha, audible.
Yes.
So I'm telling here, I'm having 1 TB table, 1 TB cluster index. Okay, 100 GB cluster index table. So if I do rebuild, okay, how much will it will take time? Okay, let's assume some random number. Okay, I don't say like it all depends upon the hardware resources. Okay, so at least tell me that how much which one will take first, 100 GB or 1 TB?
100 GB.
100 GB.
100 GB, obviously 100 GB. So even though that unnecessary data what we are having, still we are doing the rebuild only. So what will happen if we have the maintenance cost will reduce? So I mean it will take more than 24 hours. It could be anything like that. So but the client will give only like 2 to 3 4 hours only. So at that time it will be very difficult to maintain the unused data in the production table. I am talking about the production table. Okay, so this is the one of the disadvantage of large table. And you tell me that, so how statistics will get update generally if more than 1 to 500 records, 1 to 500, if equal to if that rows got inserted more than 500 or equal to 500, equal up to 500 or equal to 500, then statistics will get updated. Okay, statistics will get updated. What about if more than 500, statistics will not get updated. That's the reason we always do statistics updates as a maintenance job. And if we, what happen if more than 500, so if when we insert records more than 500, what is the formula uh, to update the statistics? General formula: 500 plus 20%. 20%. Let's assume that in 1 TB table, I'm having 10 lakhs, 10 lakh records or 10 million records. Okay, so I have inserted 500 rows, and to what could be the 10% of 10 million? Like, like we can say like 2 million, right? Means if statistics want get updated, okay, so 500 rows and plus 2 million rows, that means 2 million 500 rows if we insert at the same time, then statistics will get updated automatically. Okay, so this is one of the reason why we don't like the unused data to be a part of the production table. You understand, right, the logic? Hello?
Yes, brother.
Yeah. So if we remove that, for example, let's assume that we are having only we have removed the unused data and everything, and we are having 100 GB data, and only we are having, let's assume that 1 million. Okay, so if we want to status gets updated, so in 100 GB, how much data? What is the 20% threshold value here? 500 plus like 100 GB, 20 GB. 20 GB rows, I mean the rows kind of data there has to be. See, comparing to 2 million and 2 GB is very used, very less, right? So there will be chance of statistics get updated automatically. So we are reducing the maintenance costs, and we are also, without maintaining also, we are improving that SQL Server performance. Okay, so these are the two advantages. And one more thing, like I am having a table. Okay, so just like let's assume like select star from table name. So I'm having like something like name, comma, city, comma, year. Let just this kind of stuff. Okay, so now Harsha, Hyderabad, 2011. Shiva, Hyderabad, 2012. Like Srinivas, Bangalore, 2013. So something, I have this kind of data here. Now your customer came and asking you that, uh, Srinivas, please update the statistics for the year of 2013. Will you able to do that for only particular year of data?
No, it's not possible.
Not possible. Update 20%. You can the sampling of 20%, right? Or otherwise you have to update the statistics for entire table. So by default it is not possible to entire I mean to update the statistics entire particular year, right? So if you go with the partition, and you can get this kind of future, you can update only the partition, only the where you are having huge modifications, right? For 2023, I'm having some huge modifications and fragment statistics got not yet updated. So if up, if we update the statistics only 2023 year, so then the maintenance cost will be reduced. Why? Because immediately within the fraction of seconds it will get updated. So instead of doing for 100 GB, it is like 1 or 2 GB. Okay, so with the table partitioning, okay, we can do the get statistics update entirely particular one portion. Okay, so why I am telling all this to make the understanding of table partitioning, and in interview they will ask you, can you name one or any two features about the table partitioning? Why? So I'm okay with the table partitioning and everything. So if they ask that kind of question, so you can answer these 4 points. One is to effectively manage the large data table and to use unused data. Okay, so I'm not using 2011 to 2020 data. Why I need to kept that that data to be in production table? I can move to some other table, right? Some other data archive table, or otherwise I can truncate the data. Can anyone tell me? So one thing here, can anybody tell me, can you truncate the table, sorry truncate table name where year is equal to 2012? So in the above table here, I want to delete only 2010. I need to truncate the data only using uh, only for particular year. Is it possible? Hello?
No, not possible.
Why?
So if a particular year column is there, then we can delete.
Particular year column is there, na?
Yes, we can able to delete.
I'm not asking for delete. I'm asking for the truncate. Can anyone please? See,
So trunk,
it's huh?
truncate will drop the entire table, right? There is no where condition for truncate.
Exactly. This is the what answer of what I'm expecting from you guys. So you cannot use truncate when where predicate is. Okay. So, but we can use the delete. Let's assume that. Let's assume that in the place of delete truncate only we are using. Okay, we are trying to delete only delete state delete per particular year of 500 GB. What could be the consequences? Hello, I'm trying to delete the data that is like 500 GB. So what will be the consequences? What will happen in the production? Can anyone please? I'm deleting the data, man. That's it. Yeah, one thing what we
If
need
you
This
to
will
yeah.
take a lot of
if
time.
you really if you want to delete large chunk of data, your log file will be grow.
Yes,
So
exactly. So what will happen with the log file will grow? So it has to transfer. Let's assume that that database is part of always on. So what are the table, how much log file it is generating, that much of data, it has to travel through network. So what will happen? Obviously latency will be there, log file will be get full. So this much of headache we have to face in the production. So that's the reason when we implemented the table partitioning, so we can do it within fraction of seconds, guys. You believe me, even it is a like 1 TB of data, or like or more than 1 TB of data, we can truncate, we can get this kind of functionality like using partitioning within fraction of seconds. So you now you can ask me, Harsha, you are telling that 1 TB of data, not 1 GB. How can you say that like within fraction of seconds? It may take half an hour, at least 15 minutes, at least at least. So why I am telling that? So you can use this kind of truncate option in table partitioning. Only the reason I am telling that within fraction of seconds is truncate in the table partitioning is a metadata operation, not like a DML operation. It just like the data will stay here, but the logical metadata will get moved. Okay, that's the reason you can remove the unwanted data with the production table by using metadata operation. Okay, so so you can this is the one of the interview question. Okay, so what, how they will ask, is the table partitioning is a what kind of operation they will ask. Okay, so you can have to say that is a, like you are truncating the data. Okay, so it's a metadata operation. Okay, so that's the reason I have mentioned here. We can truncate the table using where kind of that kind of functionality we can achieve in the table partitioning. in different way. Okay, so the another use of to reduce the maintenance window. So you know that, and rebuilding or updating statistics 1 TB is different or 100 GB is different. That's what it means. The fourth line is okay. So coming to fifth line. So as of now we have discussed everything. What is the uses of the partitioning? Let's understand how many partitionings are there. So there are two kind of partitionings are there. One is vertical partitioning, another one is horizontal partitioning. Okay, can you anyone tell me what is vertical and what is horizontal partitioning? Can anyone please? Shiva, Naresh, Asif.
Columns and rows are
Yeah, you can. I mean, I'm unable to hear your voice. Can you speak bit loud?
columns and rows.
Yeah, whenever we talk about table, it could be the rows and columns only.
Then partition.
Okay, I will tell you. Hmm? So uh, we have two kinds of partition, vertical and horizontal. Okay, so let's understand the basic meaning. What is vertical? So this is vertical, right? This is the horizontal. What this is what exactly means? Okay, so
Columns.
now this is the table. Okay, this is what means. This is the table. Okay, so what will happen if we slipped vertically? I'm splitting that. Mm, okay, the tables will get divided, right? The tables means vertical partitioning means dividing the table into multiple tables. We call this a vertical partitioning. That is what vertical partitioning means dividing the table into multiple tables. What about the horizontal? Means dividing the data into multiple portions is called like horizontal partitioning. It's like I will tell you now. This is one table, right? So what I am doing here is I am splitting the data. This is one portion, this is one more portion. The header is same, but we are having multiple portions. That kind of functionality is called horizontal partitioning. So, okay, then we have understand what is table partitioning and how many table partitioning. Let's assume we are working as a DBS with what partitioning mostly we will get work means horizontal partitioning. Why not vertical partitioning? Why we don't get a chance? Mostly I'm talking about mostly. Okay, so on vertical partitioning, why vertical partitioning means? So vertical partitioning involves data architect. We need some levels. Vertical partitioning involves table design as well. That's the reason we don't involve in the table vertical partitioning. And vertical partitioning is also called as tape normalization. So who will work on the concept of normalization? Developers will usually works, but I will show you what exactly table partitioning is as well. Don't worry. Okay. So now here we have vertical partitioning means splitting the single table into multiple tables is called vertical partitioning. From developer point of view, we used to call this as a normalization. Okay. So removing the vertical partitioning is called as a denormalization. Okay, now here partitioning the large table data into multiple smaller portions is called horizontal partitioning. Now why, sir, as of now we have discussed table partitioning, vertical partitioning and its uses. Okay, now so where we need to use? Okay, um, let's assume that name Harsha, sorry, name, city, here I'm having this kind of data where the data is repetitive. Okay, so like Harsha, Hyderabad, year 2011, something Shiva, Hyderabad, 2011 to what something whatever. So Hyderabad, let's assume that I'm having like 1 million, I mean 10 lakhs rows in the city Hyderabad. Like that, I have having 1 million rows. So the Hyderabad word is unique or distinct? I mean distinct only, right? I mean unique. I mean the value Hyderabad is repeating so many times. So in order to avoid this, so yeah, if the table is having duplicate data, repetitive data, so that if we have that kind of situation, that kind of environment, then we go for the vertical partitioning. No worry, sir. I will show you as well. No problem. So that is the one thing. And one more thing is when we will go with the the horizontal partitioning means. So I will tell you. So in to reduce the data inconsistency, we use vertical partitioning. Okay. So why horizontal partitioning? To remove the unwanted data and everything, we go for the horizontal partitioning. So these two reasons, I mean, in interview they will ask you. Okay. So I will give the opportunity to work as a table partitioning. So there is a table. So how you will decide whether it is a vertical or horizontal? So you will get this kind of question in interview. So for that you need to answer these 2 points, sir. I will i will use if the to reduce the data inconsistency, I use vertical partitioning, or to remove or to segregate the data as per the year or as per the date, then I go for the horizontal partitioning. So these are the 2 points you have to mention in an interview. Okay, before understanding the table partitioning, we need to understand two words. One is range left and one is range right. These are the two things. Sir, what is mean by left, sir? Which is having left hand side, that is we call is a left, right? So what is mean by right? What are the things that we are having to the right hand side that we call is a left, that we are calling as a right, right? So here, to define the boundaries, to define the logical boundaries, so this much of data you have to go this side, this much of data you have to go this side. So these we call it as a boundaries, logical boundaries. Okay, so to part to work with horizontal partitioning, only with the horizontal partitioning, there is no concept for range left and range right in the vertical. Okay, so for range left we have some boundaries. Okay, so range left and range right. So if you see here, i'm having I'm having only 10 rows, only 10 rows. If I go with the left range left option, here you see that I'm getting 5 rows, five rows in one partition, another 5 rows in another partition. You got it, right? If I am having 10 records only, if I go with the range left, sorry, range right, so in the first partitioning I'm having 4 rows, in the second partitioning I'm having 6 rows. Now you tell me, so here what is mean by left with the boundary of with the logical boundary of 5? Hello, I'm having 10 rows. I have configured. What is mean by left here? Means it means, yeah, can anyone want to say something?
Left row of 5.
Yes, exactly. So here you will see that, right? I'm defining the logical boundary. Now I'm telling you here. Sorry. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 9, 10. I'm having 10 rows like this. Okay. So if I use the left partitioning, I'm having like this. Okay. It means when I go with the 5, So what will happen? Less than or equal to 5. Okay, if I go with the right partitioning, okay, what is mean by less than 5? Okay, that is what exactly the right partitioning is. You understand, right? Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
So what it means now, left, if I go with the left partitioning, so first partition will contain 1 to 5 rows, second partition will contain 6 to 10 rows. Okay, so that means the logic, the formula of the left partitioning is uh, um, equal to the equal to the value, equal or less than to the logical boundary value. It means equal to 5 or less than 5. That what it is left means. You just remember left, automatical right will come. Okay, so if we go with the right concept, it means less than 5. Okay, less than 5 values will contain first, will go and set in the first partition, and the right partition, the another partition will contains 5 to 10 values. This is what we need to understand, the logical boundaries. Okay, you understand, right?
Yes, good.
Yeah. So this is what range left and range right is. Now you can see the same screen. So range left, I'm having 10 records. In the right values also, I'm telling the differences. Okay, so I'm having 10 records. I'm using the range left. First partition will contain 1 to 5 records, second partition will contain 5 to 10 records. The same table, okay, I have removed the left partition, everything. I'm the same table, I have implemented right range left option. For the first partition, it will contain 0 to 4 rows. The second partition will contain 5 to 10 rows. Means the first partition will contain 4 rows, the second partition will contain 6 rows. That what it means, the range left and range right is. So I hope you understand the mean that range left and range right. If not, I will give the script, implement that script and let me know. Okay, sir. What is mean by align and non-align index? I have cluster index using some partitioning scheme and everything. Okay, if you implement that scheme, non-cluster index also, that in non-cluster index is called as a align index. If you non if you non no, if you don't use that, say, what is that, partition scheme or function, it is a newly and as usual regular what we used to create, then that kind of non-clustering index we used to call as a non-aligned index. Okay, the same, just the difference. Okay, now if we see that when this feature was introduced, sir, from 2005 only this feature was introduced, sir. From 2014 onwards, a single partition index are supported. You understand that, right, sir? It means when we are index, for example, we have multiple indexes, right? So we can, from 2014 onwards, sir, like 2000, like I can rebuild only the partition of related where DML operations very high. We can do the rebuild index operation. Okay, from which version of we can do that? From SQL Server 2014 onwards, we can do that. In 2012 also, we don't have that kind of feature. Okay, so this is the different. This is the syntax. Alter index name on production dot transaction dot history, rebuild partition is equal to 2 with online is equal to 1. This is the index. So we can rebuild the particular portion. Okay, now the truncate option was introduced in from SQL Server 2000 onwards. Okay, so if you try to use in 2014 or 2012, you will get an error. And sir, when I was learning about like table partitioning, that kind of stuff, so I got confusion, sir. What means is partition by? I said myself, Arey yaar. So I mean, I have learned the table partitioning and horizontal partitioning. where this partition by comes. So I learned something differently, or I said myself, okay. So the partition by is a ranking function, Windows ranking function for SQL Server. So it is not related to the table partitioning. Okay, I will do a separate video where the partitioning by will be useful. Not it is not related to table partitioning. So please mind it, sir. Okay. So I said, sir, one thing table I can update this table statistics only particular portion. Okay, so how what is the syntax, sir? So here this is the syntax: update statistics, statistic table name, statistics name with resample on partitions is equal to 3. I mean, what are the partition? Now right now I have showed that as a 3. So this is how we can rebuild statistics and truncate particular portion. All depends upon the to the what the all the please mind it, sir. Trunket is supported from 2016 onwards. Rebuild separate portion will support on 2011 onwards, 2014 onwards. Okay, so this is the thank you slide, don't mind. I am closing the table partitioning. So today we are going to understand like what is mean by like range left and range right. So I'm going to give the scripts as well. So before going to that, we understand that what is like this thing, right? So now we let's understand that normalization. Sir, I'm having this data. Okay, so what this is the table, department head, the location. Now you tell me how many times Sachin and Rohit and Seva got repeated. How many times it got update? How many times the Sachin value got repeated?
2 times,
What about Seva?
3 times.
Okay. Now let's assume that let's assume that I'm having I'm having 1 lakh rows. 1 lakh rows. Okay, the same table data I'm having 1 lakh rows. So how many times Sachin got repeated? Obviously 1 lakh times, right? Now Sachin was went and in place of Sachin, Rohit came as a department head. Now I want to update the data. Now I want to change department head only. So if you want to change that, how many records it got to change? Hello, 1 lakh times. One
One
lakh
lakh.
time right? See, for simple data, so how many times that value department head got repeated? 1 lakh times. So same data, why we required? So here in the gender also same data, right? Male male, female female, the same data we are having. Okay, so department head also the DP2 data is coming and again. So then it will what we will do in your case, we will remove this we will remove this department head and location, and I will kept as a separate table. I will just kept as a this type, the department number, department name, sales, Sevaks and Delhi and Sachin. I will create a primary key. This is the I will EID is the primary key, DNO is the foreign key. Now you tell me, I want to update the Sachin with the name called Rohit. How much time it will get take time in this table? Only
In
two records,
fraction of seconds, we can.
fraction of seconds. What about if we do the same? If we have 1 lakh records,
It
it
will
will
take
get
around
huge
10
time, right?
minutes.
It will get huge time. Okay. So what will happen if we have huge time? Lock will be placed. Obviously, blocking will comes into picture, right? Hello. Hello.
Yes, brother.
Yeah. So blocking will comes into picture. So that's a reason. That's a reason. If we have this kind of data, then we go for the vertical partitioning. Vertical partitioning is also called as a hello. Vertical partitioning is also called as a
It's normalized.
denormalization. Okay, now this is the what example is. I will remove the data, I will kept in one simple table, that what it means. Okay, so for normalization data, so sir, we have three we have forms, sir, we have rules. The first rule we call this as a first nominal form. The first nominal form will contain three conditions. One is the data should not have this kind of. Okay, so now you tell me sales. So D name sales is there, and the sales person contains will these names Smith, Scott, comma. We are the data contains with comma separated values. Now you tell me if I update where e name is equal to if I update it will get changed. No. So the rule should be if you want to go with the table partitioning with the first vertical partitioning, then the cell contain only single value. Okay, and also what will happen, I will do the pivot. Okay, so here we will like this, right? So now, so I'm having this like horizontal, right? Now I will create like sales admin. I will write now Smith, Scott, Finch. I will do the like this, right sir? Otherwise I will create separate table as well. And one more thing is, I don't have the same kind of data. See, department name is there, and e-name or e-name 1 or e-name 2 as well. So if we have this kind of data, it is not possible to implement normalization. Simply the save space got wasted. So now you tell me, I will update it like this. Department P prime. I have created one table like department number, department name, one like sales and admin. Now I am writing like this. So if we have this kind of data, we need to convert first like this for normalization. This is what first normalization means. So we are dividing data, we are removing the repeated columns and also repeating data which is not having in similar fashion divided by the commas. Now you tell me, have you successfully avoided these two issues? The values which are separated by commas and the same values repeated by the multiple times. So using this we have created just table creation only. Apart from that there is nothing here. You understand, right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, Pedarati. Understood.
How many guys are there, right? So only 9. Okay. Now, so this is the what? And then the second nominal form is the table should meet all the conditions of first nominal form. Okay. So the most redundant data to the separate table. Sir, we have resolved the first error. This one is completed. If we have if we want to implement the second nominal form, Sevag is there, right? So we have to create separate table and we have to do like this. I have created the department number and I have created the primary key to foreign key. So this is how you can avoid, okay, the redundancy data. This is what called nominal forms. So first we need to create the relationship using foreign keys. Okay. The third nominal form is, if you want to follow the third rule, it has to follow the first and second. And it is not contains the attributes that are not fully dependent on the primary key. Sir, now you tell me which are columns are not dependent on the primary key. Hello? Guys, can you repeat only? If you at least speak something, then I came to know, right? How my guys are standing. Where it be, okay? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Now you tell me guys which column is not dependent on the primary key. At least say some name, a name column,
EID column.
EID column. It is a primary key, right?
Yes.
Then I
E-name
am
gender.
Lightly depends. Okay, lightly. Apart from that, annual salary. Now you tell me, I'm having salary column. Okay, so here I have annual salary. Is annual salary is dependent on the primary key or salary column?
Salary column.
Salary column. That what my answer is, right? Now you tell me. So as I'm having these records, okay. So I will tell you, your salary is 10,000 per month. What could be for 12 months?
1,20,000.
1,20,000. So I can generate the value. I can get the value during the runtime. Do I require the data to be placed in the table? No, right?
No.
Okay. So that what third nominal form is. If the data is got generated by using any other column, then why you are putting into the table, right? So if for example, I will say that yes, where is the SSMS? Select 10 10,000 into 12. See, I'm getting this value, right? During the runtime only, then if I got the values during the runtime, I mean, by just by doing the multiplications and everything, if we have that kind of data, why you are putting into the table and wasting the space? This is what exactly the third nominal form is. The third nominal form is saying that, so don't put the data which are not dependent on the primary column. Okay, that what third nominal forms is. Okay, so I have I have for what this is the table right now. I have implemented that form. It means you just remove the annual salary column. That's it. That what's vertical partitioning means. If somebody asks you that, like Shiva, you can generate a report, okay, and give it for annual salary and give it me in the tabular format. No problem, sir. I'm having the salary. I will just press into 12 and I will generate the report and I will give it to you. Okay, you got it right. Hello.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah. So that what exactly nominal normalization is. I will send you the document. Go through that. Now I'm telling you the table partitioning. Sorry, the range left. Sir, you have to explain me, sir, for me. Okay. 1 minute, sir. 1 minute, please, guys. Sir, what I'm creating, sir, here?
Database test.
Database.
Database. Sir, already is there. What I will do here? I will drop this. Uh, Done. Now done. Now, sir, how many file groups I'm having currently?
One primary file group.
One file.
How many files I'm having right now?
One data, one log.
One
Two
data,
file.
one log file, right? So now what I'm doing, sir, here now in this command,
We are creating two different file groups.
exactly. May I know who is this?
Nasser. Nasser.
Thank you, Nazar. Yeah. So just have created file groups. Okay. Now, how many file groups contains how many files?
Primary file group having only one file. Remaining two are empty file groups.
Yes, exactly.
No files.
Now what I'm doing, guys, here,
You are adding files.
Secondary file groups you are adding is NDF files. Two
Okay.
NDF files on
Okay.
each file group.
Exactly. I'm creating 2 file groups for each file group. Okay. So I execute it. Done. Refresh. Now you tell me how many file groups are there for each file group?
Each file group having one file.
One file, right? Now, how many file groups are having here? Which file group?
One primary and file group one,
Three
file
file
group.
groups.
File group 2, file group 2. Yes, exactly. So, sir, to understand the table, first we need to create the function. For horizontal partitioning, you need to write the logic, right? So I'm writing 2 functions. One is different to is every time you no need to create. We can create n number of functions, sir. Now you tell me, can I create the schemas like this? Create schema. Something is I don't know spelling. Harsha. Can I create like this in database? Our wish, sir. If you use or don't use doesn't matter. I have the right. I can create it. If there is a need, I will create it. Right. So now I'm creating 2 functions. Sir, what we are trying to understand here, sir, how range left and range right is useful. I mean to say how range left and range right is using. Um, how it will works. Okay, that what we are trying to understand. Now I am creating 2 functions. One is range left, another one is range right. What are the boundaries, sir?
Five.
5 means for left I'm creating 2 functions. What is the function name?
My partition function.
For which one?
Left.
For left.
What is the function name for the right?
Function 1.
Function name. Okay, you understand. Now I'm just now what I'm doing, sir, here?
They are creating partition scheme.
Yes, what is mean by scheme here? Sir, you tell me, if you break one object, how many objects it will get created? 2, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
If I break any object, obviously it will by default it will get 2, right? Now I'm giving only 5. So first 5 values will first partition will go to the the values which are fall behind 5 value, it will go to the first partition. After the value it will go to the another partition. Now I am telling create schema, partition scheme name as partition. For what is the name for partition function name here? Partition function means range left. I am assigning the function as well. You understand, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
For range left, I am assigning first values. First partition values will go and sit on file group 1. Second values after 5 are going and sit in this into the file group 2. If I use left partition, if I use second left right partition, also you go and sit there in the file group on 1 and file group 2. That what it means. I am showing the range left and range right, okay, at the same time to make you understand about range left and range in a very easy way. Now you tell me, sir, what I am doing here? These 2. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
What I'm doing here, please. You can tell me what is this? create table. Okay, and I am creating the table on partition scheme. So I am telling that, oh, you just create the data and table values, and but if the data got there, you go and sit as per the partition scheme. Okay, I am creating the table as per the like partition scheme. Okay, just that's it. What now? You tell me what I am doing here. Simple thing. Hello,
Inserting.
inserting the data. That's it. I am inserting the data in my table and my table too. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a question here.
Yeah,
Can we create primary key or cluster index on table?
exactly. Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes, we can create it. So yes, we can. Now you tell me, table is the same thing. Cluster index is also same thing. Okay, the
yes.
table was exactly the same means, right? If you, I will tell you that logic. Okay, so sir, what is the my table function schema is range function is, sir, my partition function. What is the function value? What is the range that we use for my table? This one.
Left.
Left means what is the formula? Equal to or less than.
Yes.
That is what means. Sir, how many rows that we inserted in my table?
10.
10. 10. With what is the value that we have set it, right?
Yeah,
Boundary.
5 means 1 to 5. Yeah,
So 1 to 5 should be in first partition. 5 to 6 in should be in second partition.
second.
Okay. So what is that range I have used for my table?
5 again.
Okay. 5, right?
Yes.
Now, how many tables that should be in partition?
0 to 4.
1 to
Yeah,
4
0 to
to
4.
4.
Yeah, could be anything.
Yeah, then 5 to 10.
10 to 10, right? Now, now here, see, this is this table. I'm using. Yeah, I just used my table here. We got it right or not?
Yes.
Partition function contains how many rows here?
5.
Partition 2 contains how many rows here?
5 rows.
Okay. Partition contains how many rows?
4,
4.
Partition 2 contains how many rows?
6.
6. So this is how we need to this is how the table the range left and range right works. Okay. Now I am telling, sir, I will explain you in very easy way. Sir, how many sir, basically I'm a I belong to farmers family. We generally we cultivate like onions, groundnuts, this thing. So what we, sir, whenever we have is like huge car, so what we will do generally, we will do, right. So we will segregate, sir, right? We will segregate or not? Yes, sir, right?
Yes.
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 The onions, some made me this size, this much have size, and this must be size. We have different sizes for our onions, right? Yes,
Yes.
sir, right? So
Yes.
what we'll do, we will place a shedder, and we will keep the holes here, right?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, we will keep bags like this, and if we roll the onions, if the onion will get fit into that, it will come into this bucket, right? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is what like horizontal partitioning. So we can understand in simple language. Okay. So we are segregating the data now. So how we can implement, how we can understand the table partitioning with this example? I will tell you in next minute. Okay, sir, what is this function? Sorry. Okay, sir, this is one function, sir. Okay, so I am telling, so don't worry about sizes. So both are same only. Now I am telling, okay, 5 to 10 values. Okay, so sir, so if you go that like any shop, we need to carry the bag, right? Yes or wrong?
Yes.
Yes, right. So what are the bags in our SQL server here? File groups. File groups which are having data files, right? So now you tell me which is the logical and which is physical here in this example. Hello?
Files are logical, I think.
Files are physical. Data is storing in that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I means partition schema. Where the partition schema will tell us where it has to go sit and what kind of data, where it has to go, which object is going to say that here. Okay, if data is coming 5 to 10. Okay, you have to go and sit which object is going to sell that, like that. Partition schema or
scheme,
schema for function.
partition schema, because we are mentioning table
Yeah, that's okay. uh, how we are dividing the data logical functions, right?
function,
Partition function.
partition function.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm expecting. So partition function is defining the data, like you from this much to this much of data has to go to this file group. Okay, this much up to this much. How that how it will work? See, first the partition function is linked to the partition scheme. So only thing we need to understand is first we need to create the partition function where we have to define the values. This much of data has to go to this group. This much of data has to go to this group. So we have to define in the partition function. Now which value has to sit, which data has to come into which file group, we have to mention those by the partition schema. So why we are learning, sir? We have to say the interview. In the interviewer, we'll ask, Arsha, I will give the table partitioning. What is the first step that you are going to do? Then he will ask, sir, then you have to reply. First I will think on which column I have to create the first I will define the partition function. First I will define the partition scheme. After that I will implement basically first you need to analyze the table. So how we need to data on which column. Okay, sir, here I have simply explained the data, right? I'm having only one data, and only one data is there. There is name, there is no name, there is only one column, right? Okay, so
Correct.
just I'm keeping this example in the real time. I am having multiple columns in the table. So first you need to analyze on which column I need to do the partitioning. First you need to say the answer this. So first I will analyze the table data and I come to conclusion on this table we need to create the partition function. After that I will create the partition scheme. After that, if the table data is already existed, you just rebuild the cluster index and using partition schema. Okay, So this is what exactly it means. You have to say like this. First you will analyze the table and you have to come to conclusion. Okay, on which column you have to define. Sir, I will TK sir, I will agree with all your points and everything. Now my question is, in the real time the table data is already exist, right? So then here I have just created the table using the partitioning. So what I need to do is that if the data is already existed, you just rebuild the index with the new part with the partition schema. Okay, so that data will get automatically segregated. Okay, hello, Nazar,
Yes, sir.
you asked
Yes, sir.
you
Yeah.
asked the same question something back, right, some minutes back, right? This is the answer.
Yes, yes.
If the table
Yeah,
data
yeah,
already exists, you just rebuild the index using the partition scheme. Okay,
yeah.
partition
Yeah.
schema is physical, partition function is logical.
Got
Okay,
Yeah.
you got it right.
Yes, sir. So, yeah.
So now what you need to do is, I will give the script for you. Okay, you just implement it in your group and let understand very well about like table range left, how it works and everything, and let me know and we can proceed with the horizontal partitioning. Okay, and in that
Yeah.
we can use like how we can split, how we can create partition, like how we can merge these partitions, how we can truncate, how. So this is all we can see in the next table partitioning session.